Good.
Shalom, 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 shalom. Good. All right, shalom, my people, shalom. All right. We brothers here, of course, from Great Millstone, Atlanta. Before we get started, of course, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Hakadash. All right. Also, we want to say double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace, salutations, much love to the elect of Israel. They're scattered around the four corners of the earth, giving our diligence to make their calling of election sure. All right, we back at you in the spirit, sort of, out dealing with the elements, and basically, we want to speak on, having your priorities in line and also not meddling in matters that have no dealings with you. In lieu of the whole situation with, King John Ya'ala and the brothers from the old camp, Farad, which, none of us know them personally. I know I can speak for myself and a lot of brothers in Great Millstone, we don't know them personally. All right, so a lot of these issues and a lot of these things that come up pertaining to individuals that we don't know personally, a lot of times we got to leave that to the apostles and elders because that's why the Lord established them and had them, in the old school. They had them there firsthand to see certain things that transpired, certain things that went down, and they have those accounts, through their experience. We don't have those accounts through our experience. So a lot of things that's talked about when it's pertaining to the old school, we can't be in that mockingbird spirit, acting like we was there when we wasn't there. A lot of stuff we gotta allow the apostles and elders to deal with. And that comes with just, having your priorities in line. All right? Now, the priorities is found within the scriptures, within the text. And Yahweh Bashim Shah tells us exactly what we should focus on, which is prophecy, exhortation, is doctrine, teaching and edifying, man. All right? These are the focal points of being a servant of Hamashiach. And we have to make sure that that's our main priority. All right? And also, within the camps, within the respective camps, or the individual camps of Great Millstone, we must be mindful and considerate of our camp duties. Okay? If you have, certain duties and responsibilities within the camp, make sure that those obligations are prioritized. Make sure that they're not placed on the back burner. And make sure that, you're not trying to come up with an excuse as to why you couldn't focus on that priority. Okay? Because when you look into the word priority, which if you can get it real quick, you can break it down. But when you look into the word priority, it explains exactly, what we should be focused on. All right? And that's the main perspective, is our priorities. Okay? We have priorities in the future. All right? We have things that we cannot, let go astray. We have obligations, and we must focus on those obligations rather than other things that don't concern us. Okay? You got it.
Right. So this is just the word priority from the Edom Online dictionary.
Yeah.
This is priority as a noun. This is late 14th century state of being early. All right. From Old French. Basically, state of being early, man. It's like how I'm going into. When you prioritize something, you basically put the most important things first. Which ultimately what is true. All right, like it says in I believe that's Sirach, the 51st chapter, if I'm not mistaken, which is what? To work your work B times. You go into that word B times, it means early, man. So the truth's supposed to be number one on the list, so to speak, man. First and foremost, teaching. Doing these weekly lessons, live streams, things of that nature. Even the fellowshipping is part of the work. Yep. And then ultimately going on the highways and byways week in and week out. And these are the things that's supposed to be first on your mind, so to speak. I'm gonna get this done like now. Yep. And everything else, family, the job, whatever, that comes second and third.
That's right.
Yep.
I got a quick precept. This is Philippians chapter 3 and in verse 14. It says, I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushua. Let us therefore, as many be perfect, be thus minded. And if any man think, or if anything ye be otherwise minded, all right, the Most High shall reveal even this unto you. All right, so the scriptures speak about, letting us press toward the mark of the high calling. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to read up one verse. Yeah, 13. Verse 13. You can break it down, though. Philippians 3 and 13. It says, brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before.
Right, the things before is ultimately salvation, or like mercy from the Yahweh outside, which is going to lead to the kingdom of heaven, man. We're forgetting things of the past, our past life, things that we did, things that we went through. We're forgetting about that. We're just looking. Yeah, we got tunnel vision, man. That's right. Looking towards the greater things to come. It's the kingdom of heaven, man. And in order to get there, you got to prioritize. Going back to that word, you got to put your things in order, man.
Go ahead. Yep. It says, verse 14, I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling.
That's right. And then that, I know in my Bible for that word prize, I think the word there is, it says goal. So it's pressing towards the goal, man. Which again, what is the goal? Salvation. All right? Not being caught in the plagues of America. The plagues will come, man. But what? See the salvation from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And it says to press. When you press something, you're moving forward. You're going towards something, man. And then you gotta be in that mind frame of knowing what you're pressing towards, man. Yeah. Having everything in order. Because once things are out of order, you start pressing towards the wrong thing. Right. And it can cause you to fumble, or you can get caught up, man.
Yeah, Yeah, because you get caught up into things that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
You can't be looking behind, man. Rod Karab, man, he's behind.
Yeah.
Now let the apostles and the elders deal with it.
Right.
That's a thing of the past when it comes to us, brothers. Now, granted, the individual, as far as what the apostles and elders, testify, he gave up on the truth.
Yeah.
But that's something that I never knew that this individual existed. So that I don't have much of a say-so on that. But the apostles and elders do because they knew it. They got history with it. Okay? So those are certain things that they speak on. Us brothers that come up under the ranks and come up under the orders of the apostles and elders, we got to look forward, man. All right? Certain things, let the apostles and elders deal with it because they have the understanding, they have the knowledge on it, and they have the record. But as far as us, brothers, we don't have the green light to do certain things that the apostles and elders do because they are of full age in the truth. All right? So us as babies, us as younger men, we have to understand and mind things that concern the younger men, that concern us. You got to give diligence to make your calling a relationship. You got to make sure that you're doing the things that Yahweh Shai told you to do. All right? And that's having your priorities in line. And when you have your
made it possible to do that video and open up this thing, it's for a reason, man. Really for younger brothers to really kind of sit back and, kind of analyze, not really, get to the, get to the back and forth with, all types of videos, right, this guy. We don't know these individuals, man. So some things is meant to sit back and kind of observe and see how the apostles handle certain things.
Right, That's right. And I got another quick precept, but before I end this precept, I want to issue out an apology on my behalf. Because I did a video the other night and I mentioned the individual, Karab, and not knowing that he was actually explaining. So I'm going to apologize on my behalf and use that as a, as a stepping stone and sometimes you let the apostles and elders deal with situations. Now I didn't do a video centered around it, but I briefly spoke on it. But I'm going to still issue out an apology on my behalf towards that Just because, hey, we at the end of the day, we trying to get salvation. You know, we trying to get salvation. We trying to get saved. So the examples that the apostles and the elders, they put out there for us, hey, we have to follow those examples. All right? The good examples, okay? And when you see the apostles and elders showing integrity in certain matters, where they issue out apologies on mistakes, well, that's a sign of integrity, man. All right? Which a lot of these individuals, they get to apologize to the apostles and elders about accusing them on rape. And why is that? Because they don't have integrity. They don't have their priorities lined up. You got individuals that's, you know, recruiting people to scoff a video. Look, watch this video. I got this video on my page, you know, of Apostle R saying this. You know, Apostle Bar saying that. So your whole work is centered around malice. But when you see the apostles and the elders apologize, you still have an issue with the apostles and the elders. And that shows that you're not sincere, man. Right. You know, so, you know, going back to having your priorities in line, you know, and not exceeding your measure, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 14. It says, for we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as though we reach not to you. For we are come as far as to you, also in preaching the gospel of Hamashiach. All right, so this is Paul speaking, and Paul said that we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure. All right, now each individual that's a part of the body, the Lord gave a particular measure. Some measures are more than others. All right, so within that measure that Yahweh Shai gave you, don't stretch yourself beyond that measure. All right. And what do I mean by that? When you have certain matters and certain things that come down the line, you know, and if the heads of the camp need to deal with that, don't be trying to come and deal with the matter in a roundabout way. Right. Let them brothers deal with it because they have the experience on how to deal with that particular situation. So don't stretch yourself beyond the measure in which the Lord gave us. Right. This goes for all of us, man. Yeah. You know, the Lord gave us a particular range, and we can't step outside of those parameters. We have to know our measure, all right? Because the measure that the Lord gave us is not a tangible measure. It's a spiritual measure. So you got to be in the spirit in order to understand what that measure is. And you can judge that measure by what? By the rank that you have. So if you have, if you are second or third in command, then your measure is going to be heavier than a brother that just came in six months to a year. You got a heavier measure. So then you deal within that measure. Okay? That's a good ruling stick. And you don't exceed the rank. You don't go beyond your rank or beyond your measure because some brothers have a greater measurement. So don't stretch yourself beyond your measure. You don't have to go dealing with matters and situations that really don't have anything to do with you, man. Okay? Because then you're going to have to turn around and you're going to have to, you can't always, everything that you said, you're going to have to rewatch the video and be like, you know what, I said this. Yeah, and the best thing you could have did was you kept your mouth shut. You know? You want to say something?
Yeah. They got a saying in the world. So basically, stay out of going for business. And that applies spiritually. You know, you got the apostles elders, these are men of full age, man. And a lot of brothers is really on a baby level. Really, hey, Apostle Bar said, hey, 9-10 years, hey, you still a baby. So you compare 9-10 years to men that been laboring, hell, longer than a lot of brothers been born, hey, that's a whole other pay grade, man. So certain situations that come up, like I said, it's best to just fall back and observe what the Spirit is showing us, man. Everything is not meant to, have a response or you to just, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? You get this, you get that. The Scripture tell you, whoa, you want to get that Scripture about being a busybody, man. Yeah. You know, the Scripture speak against that, man. Being a busybody and meddling in many different matters and affairs. You know, you can, like I said, you can get tripped up and that's you know, the brothers doing a video on you because you was just wilding out, man. Yeah, you know, it's not moving orderly. You know,
I'm gonna finish it out when you pass it. Okay. This is verse 15 in 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter, verse 15. It says, not boasting of things without our measure, that is of other men's labor. So, you know, it says not boasting of things without our measure, meaning on the outside of our measure. So you can't boast on things that you have no idea about. Okay? You can't boast on things outside of your measure. You can only speak on things within your measure. All right? For instance, me and this brother, we used to work with each other. We worked with each other at the same facility, and you had different positions. Now, sometimes you would see other positions come and say and try to get on you about your position, but meanwhile, their area of work was messed up. Okay? So it's like, why are you trying to come to me about my work when your work is destroyed? Your work area is messed totally up. And that's a sign of what? That's a sign of diverting the attention on somebody else instead of yourself. All right? So you got to get the most out your own eye, man. All right? At times, you gotta be able to see. Oh man, you know what? Let me not worry about this because I don't have this in line. I don't have that in line. Let me get this in line and get that in line, and then through the Spirit, you know, if the Spirit moves on me, I'll speak on it. Man. Okay? But to boast yourself beyond your measure, it's like, bro, you don't even have nothing to do with this particular incident. So why are you over here talking to us about our area when your area is not intact? All right? And that happens in the workforce. Man. You have people that try to, divert the attention on others to get the attention off themselves. And we don't want to do that because that's not helpful. That's harmful.
Right.
It's not going to help you in the truth. It's going to hurt you. And all you can do is point fingers at other brothers and point fingers at individuals and not take a look in the mirror. The most beneficial aspect, one of the most beneficial aspects that you have in the truth is being able to look in the mirror and accept and correct what you see. Okay? So continuing on, it says, that is of other men's labors, but having hope, when your faith is increased, that we shall be enlarged, that we shall be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly. All right? Meaning that what? That we will exceed the measure unto the elect. Okay? That's what it's saying here. It says, I'm going to read it again. It says, when your faith is increased, that we shall be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly. Okay? So that means what? That measure that the Lord has given us will be enlarged unto the elect. And we'll be able to give that measure in abundance. That's what that scripture is saying. Okay? So that's the main focus point. Understanding what your area and what your priorities are, and then enlarging yourself in that area so that you can give this truth in abundance unto the elect. That's why the scripture say what? Paul said what? I magnified my office. Why did he magnify? He magnified his office to the fullest extent. Because why? Because his measure was greater than others. And Paul was able to reach the body of Yahweh Shai more than other men could. Because his measure was greater. And he magnified that measure to where that rule was given in abundance. Okay? That's all I want to say.
I had something going to basically, like you said, focus on the goal at hand. Proverbs, one of my favorite scriptures. Proverbs 4 in 25. It says, let thy eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. All right? Because everybody has their particular path. All right? That Yahweh Bashim Yahushua laid out for them. And you got to focus on that path, man. Focus on what's on your plate, man. Don't be so quick to jump into, somebody else's lane that you don't got no business being in. As you're going into something that's beyond your measure. Moving outside the boundary that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua set, man. It says on 26, it says, ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. Yeah, it's basically what? Stand on that straight and narrow, man. And you do that by what? Not only prioritizing, but having that balance, man. You know, knowing when you're doing too much, knowing when you're doing too little, then I need to step up, I need to slow down, doing too much, I need to focus. Hey, it's what you say to what? Go back to the first works. Tell you that in Revelation. Like just go back to the drawing board and do what was required for you from the beginning, man. That's right. Do your videos, do work, you know, and feed the elect of y'all, how about you outside, man. That's right, you know. But yeah, that was doing that. I had another one. First Peter chapter 4, verse 15. It says, but let none of you but let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters. You know, yeah, he's going into this scenario with Priest Daniel Oliver, you know, the guy, the brother from the old school, the apostles. Hey, that's a matter that majority of brothers don't really know nothing about. You know, brothers not nobody as far as recent brothers, brothers wasn't back in the 90s. So we don't know the inner workings of that situation. And so like I said, let's just fall back and just realize the situation. Try to pick out what's spiritually going on, and see how you can add that to your spiritual bank, for lack of a better word, Yeah, you don't want to be a busybody, but like I said, you can do certain things and hey, put yourself out there. Your flaws is being exposed. And I was like, well, damn, bro, like, hey, you chill out, man. Yep. Hey, shouldn't have did that video, and shouldn't have made that comment or whatever. Just fell back, and take do your regular videos, man, It says, yet if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed, but let him let him glorify the Most High on his behalf. Yeah, that's right. I got something really quick on putting there. Yep. Just about, going back to prioritizing, like what you're saying, we have to use these situations, not always to jump on it and have an input, but to learn from it. What is the Spirit saying here? What does the Spirit want me to get from this scenario? All right? So sometimes you got to be more so in the spirit of just watching how things play out, because it's safe for you. Okay? Now this is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So when we looked up the word priority, all right, we came to the conclusion that the word priority means first or early, all right, or superior. So when it says seek the kingdom first, that's the main focus, is the kingdom. Now how do we get to the kingdom? All right, by diligence, okay, giving the diligence in what the Lord told us to give diligence in. Now, what are we supposed to be focused on? Let's get that in what's that? 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 15. All right, let's see what we're supposed to be focused on. Matter of fact, we started like 13. 2 Timothy 4 and 13. The quote that left that just. First Timothy. Bear with 174 and 13. Oh, yeah. Yep. Let's see what we should put first as far as the kingdom. How should we, put the kingdom first? Because the kingdom is not tangible. Right. It's not physical. So it's not talking about going and buying 2x4s from Home Depot and trying to build a kingdom. All right. How do we put the kingdom first? It's spiritual. And the scriptures tell us what we must focus on. All right. Go ahead, bro. In fact, start 12. Okay. 1 Timothy 4 and 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and purity. Yeah, so these are all key characteristics that Paul is writing unto us that we must, exude unto the rest of the brothers. All right, charity. What else it said? It said It says in word, in conversation, in charity.
Yeah, so how you speak, your conversation, which is your conduct, all right, your charity, go ahead.
It says in spirit,
Mm-hmm.
in faith, in purity.
Yeah, in faith, in purity, and in spirit. So even you yourself, how you carry yourself in ministry, man. All right, are you a negative Nancy? You know, you just a brother that just loves negativity. You love the downer spirit, the Debbie Downer. You know, and you love that spirit of debate. You love that spirit of just, oh, man, I'm tired, man. You know, or are you that brother that's like, hey, man, let's, you know, don't worry about it, man. Don't get it, you know, hey, man, we got the spirit. We got the how about some outside. Stay faithful. Hey, the Lord is working with you, man. The Lord is dealing with you, brother. You know, how you conducting yourself? What's your conversation like? What's your energy like amongst the body? These are the things that we must focus on, putting the kingdom first.
All right, go ahead, bro. Yep. Verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading.
Yeah, meaning be present. When you go into, like, in school, they had a thing called what? Attendance or roll call. And they would call your name every morning.
Yeah.
Every single morning, they call your name. And you would have to respond here. You have to say here or present. Now, if you didn't respond to the call, then what would the teacher do? They will mark you absent because you are not in attendance.
Right.
All right? So it says what? Give attendance, meaning be present in what?
Yep. Give attendance to reading.
Right, so you need to be reading. All right? You got to read. Go ahead.
To exhortation.
Right, to exhortation. Meaning when brothers is exhorting you. Don't, the brother did a video a couple of months back. The other brother, Rotten, I did a video entitled, suffer exhortation. You know? And that means what? Hey, you know, when the brother is consistently exhorting you, or the apostles and elders, you know, exhorting the body, or exhortations coming out, you want to be in attendance. You want to click on that video. Or if the brother's exhorting you personally, you want to give attendance to that exhortation. You want to consider it. Don't be frustrated, man. I'm saying, brother, you just, you know, I don't feel like hearing that right now, man.
Hey, like Abby, that's perfect. I think you're going to in that script, I think it's in Hebrews. To suffer with the word exhortation. You're going to do what to suffer. You need to put up with it. Or like stand firm. Like you, brother, exhorting you gotta like you taking it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you get in that spirit like, oh, no, or man, nobody can.
Yeah.
It can get exhausting, but you gotta put up with it, man, because it's beneficial to you. You know? Mm-hmm. Yep. But I continue on for you. Verse 13, again to the top, it says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine.
Yeah, to doctrine, which the word doctrine, it means teachings.
Yep.
All right, so you got to give attendance to what's being taught. All right? You can't be just popping up on the scene trying to go into Daniel, the 7th chapter, or Daniel, the 9th chapter, or Daniel, the 6th chapter, and you haven't got the breakdown first.
Right.
Get the breakdown first.
Yeah.
Type in, these chapters. Type in these books. Or ask brothers, what's the breakdown? All right? Then when you get the breakdown and you fully understand and digested the breakdown, then you teach it.
Yeah.
Because that's what the word doctrine means, it teaches it. So before you can be a teacher, you got to be taught. And this is where individuals mess up at, because they just want to go and they want to teach everybody everything when they haven't even taught themselves.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
They haven't even went into certain of these things. But they want to be on the level of being a teacher. Alright? Which any teacher has to, before they can become a teacher, has to have been taught the curriculum. You got to know the curriculum.
Right.
You can't go before elementary school, or middle schoolers, or high schoolers winging it. You can't do that. You got to know the curriculum. You have to know the assignments. And that's the same thing in the spirit. So this is all going back to prioritizing, seeking the kingdom of heaven first. How must we seek the kingdom of heaven first? These are the characteristics that the Bible is describing that we must do, that equates to seeking the kingdom of heaven, which is attendance to exhortation, reading, doctrine, charity, faith, Okay? These are all the things that are our priority in the faith. All right? So let's keep going and to the end.
Yeah, you got it. Verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophets.
Go ahead.
With the laying on the hands of the presbytery,
Which are the elders. Go ahead.
It says, 15. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all.
That's right. So we meditate and give ourselves fully unto these things. Then the Lord said our profit will appear unto all. And that's the priority. All right? This thing is not always about beef. It's not always about, contention. All right? Now, at times, yeah, us brothers at Great Millstone, we see something that's off, we're going to jump on it. All right? But that shouldn't be your day-to-day.
Right.
Let me see what else I can find today. Let me see what I can find on Nate. Let me see what I can find on Johanna. Let me see what I can find on Sakari.
Right.
Sakari Israelites. Let me see. That's not your main focus on a daily basis. Your main focus, prophecy, exhortation, reading, prayer, charity, okay, faith, long suffering, all right, brotherly kindness, brotherly love, fellowship. These are all of the things that equate to seeking the kingdom of heaven first. All right?
Yeah.
So that's all I wanted to hit on that.
I'm glad with you.
Okay, go.
So, okay, verse 16. It says, take heed unto thyself. Let's go to, like we mentioned earlier briefly, about what? Looking in the mirror and examining yourself. Make sure you measure up to these things that the scriptures say. Like you mentioned, reading, fellowship, charity, all these different elements that make up a righteous man in the Lord. Right? 16 is to take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them. So you gotta continue in the teaching, man. Alright? It says, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Alright, that's why the scripture says in I believe it's James 1st chapter, alright, to what you see with meekness, the graphic word which is able to save your soul, man. So you can say you save yourself, alright, you being that watchman, you being that overseer, so to speak, really to really not only to the brothers around you, but really to all Israel, really overseers, man.
Watchmen.
Watchmen. When the watchmen sit up, you step on a high post.
Yeah, the watchmen, yeah. The prophets are over the kings.
Yeah.
The highest seat.
Yeah.
No other seat is higher than the prophet. And if we have the testimony of Yahweh Shah, which is the spirit of prophecy, we have to understand that, this is a high calling. That's why the scripture said that we press towards the mark of the high calling. And what is that high calling? The prophet. All right? Yeah. That's the highest calling, being a prophet. And I want to get that for you real quick, bro.
Oh, go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 62 and verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night.
Right. That's why they see the great millstone brothers, they with the apostles and elders, lay that example, man, of what day and night. You see the live stream at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 12 in the afternoon, from the various camps. It's around the clock, man, constantly prophesying, all right, what's coming out the scriptures.
All right, go ahead. All right. It says, okay, it says, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence.
That's right. Hey, that's why we're going to keep harping on the R5 shit. We're going to keep doing World War III videos. We're going to keep telling you the things that's coming. We're going to keep, giving that motivation and encouragement to brothers, the admonishment, the motivation. We're going to keep saying these things, man. Good vibes. Tell us not to keep silent. That's right, man. Keep speaking the word of the Lord. Go ahead.
Verse 7. It says, and give him no rest. So the Lord is telling us, don't let up.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't let up. Bring it.
Yeah.
It says, and give him no rest till he establish and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So the Lord really requires us to stay on it, man.
Yeah.
The Lord want to hear his name every day. Every minute, the Lord trying to hear his name. You trying to see a brother doing the work or having holy conversation, fellowship, building, edifying, approving, exhorting, admonishing. All right? Being charitable. The Lord said, give him no rest. But the main thing that the Lord wants us to do is prophesy, man.
Yeah,
okay? That's why the scripture say, a man that speaketh in tongues edifies himself. But him that prophesies edifies the church. So you got guys out here that want to just harp on the Hebrew. You know, and I'm not talking about, you know, brothers in Great Millstone, you know, but, you know, really, you know, I'm going to say it, you know, the brother Karad, he should have thoroughly explained everything that he said on the video. And it could have alleviated, you know, the whole predicament, but the Lord had that set up in the spirit. That's why the scripture said, if a man speaking an unknown tongue, let him interpret what he said to the church. Right. So the interpretation aspect has to be there. All right? You got to break down every word that you said because some brothers don't understand it like that. But that's neither here nor there. The main portion of this ministry is prophesying, man. And a lot of individuals that know this truth are not doing so. That's why the scripture say, but rather that you prophesy. Yeah, I just you should be, might be clear. I'm not sure. You know, but the Lord said, look, man, give them no rest. Meaning stay on it, man. Stay on top of it, man. You know, prioritize, brothers. Okay? And you got brothers that I'm gonna call it straight. You got brothers that don't like to be around brothers, man. You got brothers that don't like the fellowship. You gotta get that in order. You gotta prioritize that. Yeah. Just as much as you will be around a woman or a new chick or a little hot thing, you need to be as adamant like that to get around brothers. Okay? Yeah. If Jake get a new chick, man, they be around her. It's like, damn, bro, I've been knowing you for like 7, 8, 9 years. Right. You be around a new chick more than you know, even talk and be around brothers. What's up with that? You know, you gotta give the Lord no rest in all aspects of the ministry. You gotta be on top of your game, prioritize it. There's still room left to do what you want to do. Right. You know? You just gotta put your priorities in line, man. What needs to happen first? Everything else is secondary. You gotta learn. First Corinthians 14 and 1. It says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts. They prophesy. You know, yeah, so you got charity, which is what brotherly love, and you got various gifts. Again, goes to that in 1 Corinthians 12. You know, you got different administrations of the body. Yeah, but Paul said, well, I'd rather let you prophesy, man. Which, yeah, knowing Hebrew is important. You should know the Hebrew, right? If you're a Hebrew Israelite, you gotta know how to at least know the alphabet, know certain words, and, you know what I'm saying, prayers and stuff. But hey, the most important thing is prophecy, man. Right. That's the testimony in Howard Shaw. That Revelations 19, I'm not mistaken. 19:10. All right, the testimony of the Howard Shaw, the spirit of prophecy. That's the first and foremost, man. You know, so while all this is going back to the topic, we're not going outside to meddling different matters. Hey, just prophesy, man. You know, continue to put the word out and let men that were set up for particular reasons, let them deal in their arena. And just put prophecy in the forefront. You know? That's right. Matter of fact, I keep going. Do not quote this too. Verse 2. This is, for he that speaketh in an unknown tongue unto the Most High. For no man understandeth him. Howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries. Hey, because you got like that video with the brother from the old ICPK, and video that probably don't know any, you know what I'm saying, Hebrew, they're like, well, it's an interesting video. Yeah. What did he say? You know, and you gotta break it down. Why? He's speaking in a mystery, man. So you gotta break it down to cause less confusion and to edify the people. So as for edify means to what? Build up. You know, if you just, you know, spitting this Hebrew off, you know what I'm saying, and put it, you know what I'm saying, that's not really building nobody. You got people sitting there scratching their head like, damn, you know? Yeah. You gotta explain it clear. Thoroughly. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, clear, thoroughly. You know, his intention wasn't, you know, that he worshiped Haile Selassie. You know, but just being a little bit more clear. And that's a learning lesson for us. You know, for us brothers, like, you know, when we do lessons and we do things, you know, expound on it, man. You know, break down each and every word, go into it, so that the congregation can be edified on what's being said. And that's the main point of the matter. You know?
Right. I keep going, but that was the point of the time.
I got one of these. First Timothy 4, also like the 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 5. Alright? It says, but watch thou in all things, endure affliction, do the work of an evangelist. Alright, now the scripture clearly say do the work.
Yeah.
Alright?
And I believe that word evangelist means basically somebody who brings good tidings.
Yep.
Or somebody who brings the gospel. Yeah, like you want somebody who brings good news. You know, so that's what you gotta do. Week in and week out, man. Bring the good news really to the elect. You know, salvation is coming, the kingdom is coming. You know, Esau gonna be brought down. All right, and our enemies gonna be subdued under our feet. We're gonna be part of that number.
That's right. You know? Because at the end of the day, man, Jake gonna be exhausted if you keep talking about yourself all the time.
Right.
You know, like, you know, here and you know, you know, following Hebrew and you know, I did this and I've done that. All right, time. You know, I want to hear about the kingdom.
Right, yeah.
What do you have to give? What do you have to offer me about Yahweh Shema Shai and the kingdom of heaven? Not what you did. Where are your works? So that I may learn, that he may learn, that the rest of the flock may learn, right? And feed, you know, and get fed from. You know, it's all cool, you know, all right, cool, you know. Yeah. You know, he did this and he did that and he was, you know, good and this and that. But where are your works? You know, you have any substance or anything that I can learn from you? No, I don't. What do you want? You know? What do you want, man? You know? So the scripture says what? It says, do the work of an evangelist. And also, it says, make full proof of thy ministry. All right? Meaning, you know, when it says make full proof of the ministry, meaning, you know, you got to have your priorities in line. All right? Meaning you got to focus on your responsibilities and what's required of you within the ministry. Making full proof of it. All right? And a lot of them, you know, it don't have nothing to do with, you know, what another man is doing. It's about what you're doing at the end of the day. You know, in the spirit, it all boils down to your work. The scripture says in Revelation 22:12 that it says, behold, the Lord comes to reward all those accordingly. Paraphrase. So the Lord is going to give you a reward according to your works. So that's why it says, do the work of an evangelist. Bring these prophecies out, man. Bring out the good news. Speak about the kingdom. Speak about, you know, the prophecies and the things that pertain to America. So that when the Lord comes back, he'll give you a reward according to your labor.
Testimony of how it's done. Yeah, that's it. This is Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow. Testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. You know? Yeah, and that word on testimony, which I think I put this out before, you go into that word protest, and you got the people, I'm protesting. Really, the prophets is the real protest, man. Where pro means to put forth, and test means to testify, a testimony. Putting forth the testimony of Yahweh Shai every week. Every day, man. What's that testimony? You know, telling America they're going to go down, Israel they're going to go down, the nations are going to go down. The elect of Israel are going to rise up and you know, have rulership of the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? America's going to be destroyed. This is what we're supposed to be put the R526, which is the mark of the beast, by the way. All right? These are things that we're supposed to be pushing out. And that's a testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So week in and week out, what? We're protesting, man, putting forth the testimony of our Lord, man, which is what? Our number one priority ultimately, man.
Right,
To
man.
prophesy. You know, that was pretty much it.
We also with that, we're gonna go ahead and do it, close it out. Giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, and Papa Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Jesus, open to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.